Hello everybody, it's the Myers Trucking channel and we have a special video for you today. Today we have picked up our very own 2023 Peterbilt 579 and we'll be driving this hopefully, God willing, for the next couple of years at least. And just want to do a little tour, a little walk around and show you our new ride. All right, everybody, here she is. Obviously, she is white. These new Peterbilts and Kenworths, I really like the front end on these trucks. They just have that kind of nice sloped aerodynamic look. Our last truck did not have hood mirrors. I am so glad to have the hood mirrors back. Of course, it's got the aerodynamic mirrors. It's kind of funny, they keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller on these trucks, but to be honest with you, I can still see plenty and everything that I need to see. This one's got an engine heater and shore power. Hopefully someday I'll have a home where I can actually plug that in. That'd be nice. Got ourselves a window and side compartment. I will grab the keys and show that to you real quick. The door's a little tight. I think with a little bit of time it'll loosen up a little bit, but it still works. So this is the area underneath our bunk. I keep all of our tools here and everything that I might need when hooking up trailers and just generally working on stuff. This is a box with locks in it for locking up trailers. The DOT requires that you carry a fire extinguisher. And back here I got my triangles, first aid kit, tire thumper, and I got nothing in here now, but eventually I will have extra fluids in there, and of course our road atlas. And back there I have what do you call it? It's a kit for filling if your tires are starting to go low and whatnot. I can hook that up to the air glad hands in the back and use the truck's air compressor to fill the tires. Then we got an 1800 watt inverter, and that is also hooked up to 2 plugs inside the truck. Around this side we have our these are our glad hands. We hook this up to the trailer, and that's what supplies air for the air brakes. This supplies power. I believe these are dual 100 gallon tanks. I'm pretty sure they're 100s. Eventually I would like to replace these steps with a step box for tool storage and whatnot. We got 295 75R 22.5 tires. Fifth wheel. Right now the fifth wheel is all the way back. Eventually, once I get hooked up to our next trailer, I'll slide this forward. I like to have the fifth wheel towards the middle. Our loads are not very heavy, so I don't have to worry about weight and balance too much. But theoretically, having a little more forward increases your aerodynamics, uses less fuel, supposedly. Now, the one thing we were a little disappointed on this truck is no window and side door on this side. And unfortunately, this was the only truck available. So it's either that or go back home, and we got to get back out on the road. However, like I said before, there's always things we like and don't like about every truck we've been in. So we'll make do. Sorry for my not so steady handy cam work here. One of these days I'd love to get a gimbal, but they're expensive. So there she is. I'm going to set the camera down for a second, show you the engine, and then hand you off to my wife to show you the inside. This has the Cummins engine. Let me show you that. Cummins X15. I believe, what is this, 400? So yeah, this is the 450 horsepower one. So it's the fuel sipper, which is all right because that was fuel was by far our biggest expense last year. And here's the hot side of the engine. The turbo and all that kind of good stuff. Gonna put this back down. Oh, I almost forgot the anti-blowback thing. This prevents the wind from closing the hood on your head. I'll come back and lock that down a little bit. Okay, here you go. I'm going to hand you off.
All right. Okay, well, here is the inside of the truck, and Mike might go over some of these features here once he turns it on. He's just getting everything latched up. The Peterbilt is wonderful, but storage is not its strong point. So that's about what you get for storage up front. I hope everything's going to stay put and not fall on our driver's head. I did do a little reinforcement job there. There's some 5-hour energies hiding behind that little wall I made. I hope this stuff doesn't come flying out at the driver, but once we go down the road, we'll find out. Got our glasses, got our paper towel holders, and Mike will probably go over more of these instruments up front. I just kind of want to show more the layout of the truck. And got there's all of our plates and cups and things like that. Sorry, let me move this direction. Try not to make anybody sick. There is the top bunk area. Does not have a mattress. So we pretty much just have everything stacked up there. And we have our large refrigerator freezer unit up on the very top. And we're going to be sure to always keep it strapped in, netted. Just extra stuff, snacks and whatnot. And then we have these little cubby areas. And if I can do this gracefully, I might not be able to get to it. These kind of lift up and out, and I can slide something in there. Got a microwave that does work, and a little fan. This is our little office area, which in my opinion is kind of wasted space, but it looks nice, and we'll figure out how to use it. A lot of our, let's see, that's our inverter. It looks like the battery's getting kind of low, so we're going to have to start it up here pretty soon. But got a little storage area there. Don't mind the clutter. And then this little drawer opens up, which is kind of nice. It actually locks in place. Let me open it that way. A couple little cup holders. And then there is just like storage. We have our CPAPs down there right now, but there's like a 2-tiered little storage area, and it's all by snap, which I'm not going to be able to snap now. We have another Camco device there for storing food. Well, I guess we're food people. And there's the bunk. And we got all our pillows, which we love. Mike's guitar. And actually that's Mike's clothes bag and some random things there. And then we have these little storage devices that go alongside the bunk. Extra paperwork on that side. And then, sorry, not trying to make anybody queasy here moving this back around, but like these little storage bin things. We have at the foot of the bed. There we go. You can see that a little better now. So lots of makeshift storage because this truck is not known for great storage, not like our Freightliner, but hopefully won't shake us to death like our Freightliner did. Got my clothes, they're washing, so I don't have very many there now. And then had to sacrifice part of my clothes, which I was not happy about, but that's where our Keurig is going to be and some of our cooking stuff. So we do keto coffee every morning, so got that set up there. And again, it's a snap type deal with that. And then this is the fridge. Boy, this is cramped. So sorry. It's very cramped in here. This is the fridge that comes with the truck. And so as you can see, we've already pretty much maxed that out. Little freezer. Forgive me if this quality of video is not very good. So there's actually nothing in there right now, but little freezer and a fridge. So I'll go ahead and close that up. And I'm going to, don't mind the mess, don't mind the clutter, I'm going to send this back up to Mike to show you some of the controls in the front of the truck.
All right, everybody, I'm back again. So for all my friends and family that's never been in a semi before, this is pretty much the view that you get from the driver's seat. So looking out at the mirrors here. And of course, I'm not hooked up to a trailer right now, so can't really show you what the trailer on there would look like. And over here, we have our Qualcomm unit, which is our electronic logs and communication with the company. So you can go in here.
You have 7 hours and 1 minute of remaining drive time.
And these are your different work clocks that we have to go by. So you get 70 hours in a 8-day period. 8 hours a day. I'm sorry, not 8 hours a day. Got a 8-hour period before you have to take your half-an-hour break. You drive 11 hours in a 14-hour period. So I did do a little bit of driving earlier today, so that's technically I'm still on my 14-hour clock, even though I'm done for the day. Then you can go in here and go to messaging, and that's where you can get your load assignments and stuff like that. So, and of course we can, it seems to be, there it goes. And this is where you can choose whether I'm driving or Allison's driving. So, let's go ahead and start her up. Key down here. This has the electronic dash. Wait for it to start up. Truck will do all its little checks. Now this is a customizable screen. You can choose to have minimal information. Although right now it thinks that the coolant is cold, that's why it's still staying on there. But on the first menu, it would just be the round middle gauge here. And you can add more. That would show my air pressure, my oil pressure, my speed and tachometer, my fuel and coolant. Then we can add on additional information. Oil temperature, the torque. See, it goes up over there. The boost. brake application. The air restriction has to do with the DPF filter. As soot clogs it up, it'll restrict more air. And of course I don't have a trailer load right now, so that's not going to show anything.
Show my toggle between screens.
Yeah, I did. Yep, and now you can also set up a custom gauge section. You can go in there and tell it what you want displayed on the star menu there. I tend to like it in this view. Oh, I see. You change those views right down here with the toggles. You also got your Bluetooth controls. You can go push that button and get into the settings menu, etc., etc. And then, of course, your cruise control and all that. So down here, we just have a few basic controls. We got our lights here. Down here, we have interior cab lights. And then that one over there is a utility light that's on the back of the catwalk. We can light up, so we can see our trailer connections and stuff easier. This is a light test, so especially if you're a single driver, you can flip that, go outside, and it will go through all the blinkers and highlights, or high beams and low beams and all that. 4-way flasher. Over here, I believe this button is so you adjust the idle speed, the idle fan speed, not the idle speed of the truck. This adjusts how bright your dashboard is, and of course, you got your cab air controls and all that, radio. This here is a part of the camera system, and I'll show you that up here. We've got a forward-facing camera here, and then we also have rear-facing cameras on the mirror pillars. Now, if you want to record an event, I can push this little panic button, and it'll record for I think it's 15 or 30 seconds or something. This truck has a lane departure warning, where if it thinks you're going over the lines, it will sound an audible alarm. But the system is not perfect at all, and it will give you several false readings. So if you want to turn it off, let's say if you're going through a construction area and the lines are all messed up, then you can flip that up and turn it off. Traction control. This is hill start assist. I don't know why you'd want to turn that off, but apparently you got the ability to do that. But basically, the hill start assist holds the brakes while your truck engages into first gear and goes forward, so it doesn't roll backwards. Down here, this turns on and off the sleeper lights. This, I believe, is for disabling regen cycle, which again has to do with the after treatment system that cleans up the exhaust. For the most part, the only reason why you want to do that is let's say if you stopped at a fuel station and you're going to put gas in the truck, and then all of a sudden it decides, diesel in the truck, and all of a sudden it decides now's a good time to do that. It's no, now's not a good time to do that. You can disable it there. The auto start feature. Now this will turn on and off the truck automatically to maintain the air conditioning or heating in the truck, as well as prevent the batteries from going dead. At the moment, this does not seem to be working. I'm going to have to check into that at a later date. This here, you can squat the back end of your truck for getting under lower trailers and things like that. Electric slides, so you can release the pins to slide your fifth wheel back and forth, which we probably will be doing. I prefer to have the fifth wheel towards the middle. And then this will lock this is your axle lock, so your wheels don't spin independently. So this does have an anti-idle shutdown. However, I've noticed after the first time you cancel it by tapping the fuel that it does not come on anymore after that. So you can idle the truck if you need to. Yep. Got our GPS here. Up here, I've got my CB radio, which I could probably work on getting it in there a little bit better. And I might, next time I'm home, I might take this little, I don't know what you'd call that, this little border out so the CB fits a little better. But it was kind of a pain to get in there. If you have one of these trucks and wonder how you get it in there, you just pull this whole molding off right here. It's just clipped in. You just pull it right off, and then you put your CB in behind there. And then this is an external speaker for your CB. So, I guess the last thing I forgot to show, assuming that not everybody has ever driven a semi, these are your air brakes. So this is how you set and release the tractor brakes and the trailer brakes. And you could literally do a whole entire video just on that subject alone, so I won't go into that so much for right now. But
and we're excited that the passenger seat is free in this truck.
Yeah, in our last one.
So we have our cooler back here now.
Yeah, in our last truck
So now we get to sit next to each other again. Yay!
Our last truck we did not have enough room in the back for our second cooler, so we had it strapped to the seat there. But of course that meant that we could never sit together.
So we're excited about that.
Yeah. So, you know, there's things we like and don't like about this truck, and there's things we liked and didn't like about our last truck. And you know, that's just overall I'm all right with it though. It'll be a good work truck for us, and it'll be a comfortable ride, and it has just enough storage for us. So there you have it. There is the tour of our new home.
Yes, our home away from home.
Our home away from home. So
we're still getting warmed up to each other, but I think it's going to be a relationship that works out. Not you and I.
I was wondering.
Us in the truck. I'm still getting warmed up to the truck. Let's put it that way. I'm not in love with the storage situation, but it's always an adjustment. And then we'll learn to really appreciate features about this truck. And I think the smoother ride, and it's going to be a lot better for sleeping, I think. It's got a wider sleeping area. And I think just the smoother ride is going to be really, really appreciated. Yeah. So we struggled with a lot of fatigue with the Freightliner. It shook us to death in the front seat, and it shook us to death in the sleeper. So we always were waking up tired and sore. So I think just that part alone is going to make it worth it. So
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're excited for a new chapter in our lives and getting used to driving a Peterbilt. In fact, we have a load going out tomorrow, so...
Yep, got a load going to Miami tomorrow. Leaving, I think it was 9 a.m., something like that, Eastern time.
So we get to hit the road again.
Yay! Yeah. So this is the Myers Trucking Channel. If you want to follow a husband and wife, learn about life on the road and see our adventures, please like and subscribe to this channel. Like this video. And we'll hopefully be posting more in the near future.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next video.
Bye-bye.